So I want to caveat this conversation. Um, I'm going to do my best to not say anything that is like specifically anti-Horde in this. I will refrain from calling Horde whiny crybabies who cried so hard that Blizzard actually fundamentally changed how the game works for them to baby them. I will refrain from those sort of arguments so that I can talk about the real problem that I have with this particular system. So, the main issue at hand is faction imbalance. It's not BG queues, no matter what Blizzard wants to say. The reason Horde have long BG queues is because the factions are imbalanced. This particular band aid fix is a fundamental change to the way that the game works in order to band aid the real problem. Uh, long queues for faction, long queues for Horde, or if it were Alliance, uh, that is a symptom of a problem. It is not the problem. And if you play Alliance on most servers, you'll understand what other symptoms exist. Many servers are unable to use the summoning stones. Many servers are unable to get into Karazhan without dying 3 or 4 times. I mean Alliance side specifically. These are issues that all come from faction imbalance. Right now, across the board, Horde are 60-40 or 60-40 Horde to Alliance, which that doesn't sound like much, right? It's very close to 50-50. But what you have to understand, and might not be intuitive inside you, that means there's 50% more Horde than Alliance. That's a lot more Horde than there are Alliance. If you play on a PvP server, you'll understand what I'm talking about for the most part. Of course, there's like Heartseeker that's like 99% Alliance, I think. There might be one server that has an Alliance domination. But the problem I have in its main point is that this fix is a buff to the Horde no matter what. No matter how you look at it, this change is a buff to the Horde and a nerf to the Alliance. The only sole benefit right now that Alliance have over Horde is that they have short queue times. They're able to farm honor at a much higher rate than Horde. So that's a problem. And I totally agree that that is a problem. The problem is we are going to the code red answer. We're not using any incentives to get Alliance to play more PvP. We're not looking at maybe changing the way honor works so that Horde can actually get their gear at a little more even pace than Alliance. Like they should still get it slower, but at the end of the day, if you're on the bigger faction, you have this consequence for that. So that's the main problem. So no matter how minimal the effect, this is going to change faction and balance to a huge amount. And I see people in chat already talking about it. I don't care about racials. Racials will not change anything. No one is going to faction switch, right? I don't believe that if you change racials, people are going to faction switch very much. Right now, the main reason you wouldn't play Horde as an alliance is because you want to get into games. I know many people who actually want to play Horde, but they knew that the queues were going to be long. So they stayed Alliance because they wanted to grind their honor gear even faster. That is a benefit that the Alliance had that made the population stay. There was like a 12, maybe 15% difference of population from Classic coming into TBC. And it's all caused by the perceived benefit of the Horde racials. It's not the case necessarily. It's fine to argue that the racials are better or worse or Horde don't have that big of an advantage. I don't care about the advantage. I also don't care that Horde are fighting each other. What I care about is some amount of people are going to switch over to to Horde, right? No matter what. There's going to be a percentage of people, no matter how small. The imbalance is going to grow. So much so, if you recall, we used to have 70-30 servers in phase 2. What happened to the 70-30 servers in phase 2? They became 99-1 servers because when there is an imbalance that great, people start to leave. They'll reroll PvE. I see all this talk about, oh, Alliance should reroll Horde or Alliance aren't going to reroll Horde. No one's going to reroll factions. I agree. But they will reroll PvE servers. You can just go hang out on a PvE server if you'd like to play Alliance still. Why am I going to get punished in the world for the Horde, right? So this faction imbalance, no matter how you look at it, is going to happen, right? Because the Horde are gaining a buff. They're gaining a enormous buff. 2-hour queues going down to 30-second queues, which is what's happening today, is an enormous buff. So no matter what you want to say, this will increase faction imbalance, which, if you remember my mission statement, is the cause of the problem. Faction imbalance is the #1 reason casual players quit during Phase 2. Faction imbalance causes huge economic problems. It causes people to leave PvP servers. And that's why in retail WoW, there are no PvP servers anymore. PvP servers do not exist in retail WoW. Sorry, I mean retail WoW. They don't exist any longer. You have mercenary mode, right? Which is basically the same thing. Horde can play with Alliance, but the Alliance are given in-world benefits. If you turn on PvP mode or war mode on in retail, you gain a benefit to your experience as an alliance. So we leveled, I think, 30% faster than Horde did because we were targeted or we were flagged for PvP in retail. So there are out in the world benefits in retail right now. This is giving the Horde mercenary mode without giving the out in the world benefits to the alliance. We still have to fight our way into Kara. We still can't use summoning stones. Our economy is going to continue to be messed up, and it's going to be exacerbated as people reroll or quit. I mean, I'm not spelling doom or gloom. This might not be the worst thing ever, right? This might have a minimal effect. But the problem is Blizzard is implementing something that's going to exacerbate the main problem of faction imbalance. They are slowly killing the Horde. And of course, the Horde don't care. Horde don't care at all because they don't understand what it's like to be the smaller faction. And that's really what it comes down to. I had a couple of not better ideas, but a couple other things to run through. So you could incentivize Alliance to PvP, right? Give them if you chain maybe that you can have a system that just chain queues you for dungeon or for PvP battlegrounds, and then maybe you get some additional rewards, additional honor, additional marks. I don't have a clear set out thing, but you don't have to give a buff to the Horde. You could incentivize Alliance to play more PvP, right? Horde had longer queue times for all of Classic. This already was a problem. They've only like doubled. It hasn't been that much worse. So 40-minute queue times, I think, or 30-minute queue times are an acceptable queue. The problem is there's no incentive for Alliance to PvP right now, and we can get our honor pretty quick. You could raise honor across the board, give everyone double honor. So now, yeah, you can't PvP as much, but as a Horde, you can still only PvP once every 2 hours. But this way, you're not saying, hey, Alliance, we're getting rid of the only benefit you have. The only reason to play Alliance is for PvP purposes, is for the faster queues. You are removing that without giving anything back. So you're exclusively hurting the smaller faction. You could implement this system. I heard a lot of people when I was talking to other content creators saying that it's not just about honor, it's about being able to play the game. You want to log in, do some BGs for fun, and have a good time. I totally agree. So, for these war games that they're setting up right now, where it's Horde versus Horde, give no honor. How about it's a fun mode, just for fun? And if you want to earn honor, you can do it in a real battleground. Why, if you just want to have fun, why do you need to play Horde versus Horde? Or why do you need to play Horde versus Alliance? You don't. Why do you need honor if you want to play for fun? You can just do this mode, increase honor across the board, or give a honor benefit, a bonus honor benefit for the longer you're queued. If you're queued for an hour, you get 2 times bonus honor when you get into the dungeon. If you're queued for an hour and a half, you get 2.5 times bonus honor. I don't care. My point is these ideas aren't perfect, but there are so many ideas you can have before moving to the most step that's going to hurt faction imbalance even more. And faction imbalance, other than queue times, other than 8-hour queue times in Classic, nothing has made more players leave the game than faction imbalance problems, specifically from Phase 2. So that's my big spiel. I am very against this. Not because I have no problem with Horde fighting each other. I think it's really cute whether the Horde have masks on. I've seen like a Tauren with a gnome mask on. I have no problem with people wanting to play the game. Like, that isn't a problem at all to me. If people want to do horde versus horde so that they can have fun, 2-hour queues for Battlegrounds is unacceptable. But the fix isn't to say, oh, well, forget alliance, we'll just horde versus horde. Why even have factions at all? What is this game? World of Warcraft? Why not just have World of Hordecraft? We are in the most drastic measures. That's it. But we jumped steps. We didn't try anything else. We jumped straight to Code Red. We nuked the alliance. And again, this might have a minimal effect overall, but I don't think from a game design standpoint, if 60% of players play Horde, why do they need a buff? Why would you buff the faction that has the most? In other games, like Overwatch, probably. Actually, I don't know for Overwatch. For League of Legends, they look at win percentages of things, of champions or heroes, and then they'll balance based on that. If Horde are the overpopulated people, then you should not be buffing them. That is common sense. And if anyone thinks they can disagree with that, I'm inviting you onto the podcast. If you are a Horde and you disagree with what I've said tonight, please come on. Please talk to me, because I don't think you can refute any of these points at all. I totally agree with you that 2-hour queues is pretty messed up. And I totally agree that, you should be able to have fun in the game. But I don't agree that this is healthy for the game. It's going to kill Alliance. It's going to kill PvP servers. Imagine going to farm your Nether Drake on a 75% Horde server. Imagine doing your Shatari Skyguard dailies on a 75% Horde server. The Blizzard's going to try to tell you that because Horde queues are going to be shortened, less Horde are going to be out in the world. That is such nonsense. I can't even believe that they're going to try to use that against us. Alliance players, don't be fooled. There might be less Horde over these next 5 days because they're all queuing for Battlegrounds. Do not be fooled. They will be out in the world killing you, camping stones. World PvP is dead if this comes through. Everyone's leaving all over again. 99-1 servers are coming back, and Blizzard is endorsing it with a change that, by the way, mercenary mode came out in Legion. This came out so recently. Literal faction changes came out before mercenary mode. So the change that they're going with is ridiculous.
Okay. Well,